Hi everybody, a very good evening. How you doing? Hope all well. I'm Justine Kapani. I'm the founder and CEO of I'm Decor and Design, and I hope you're having a great weekend and stuff. Mine is absolutely relaxing, rejuvenating, and refreshing and stuff. So I'm hoping the same for everybody. And for those in different countries, my friends and my professional acquaintances and family, you're starting with the weekend. Have a blast, have a great time, and do recharge your batteries and stuff. And for that, I'm now on that note sharing a few thoughts of mine on this. These lines I've written down. These are called crucial decisions. There are these small little things and decisions that can change our life or our daily routine, which is a little overhyped for good. So, firstly, I'm Justine Kapani. I'm the founder and CEO of I'm Decor Design. We're in the business of designing and manufacturing home and office decor and interior solutions and stuff. And we do luxury and premium quality furniture and interior solutions where we have lamps, mirrors, consoles, we have accessories. We've got art and installations and stuff, and a whole list of products which are designed, conceptualized, and created looking at only quality. And we promise, good service as well and stuff. Most of our clients are extremely happy about it. Now, coming back to the chapter, this is about crucial decisions. So, small decisions will change your daily life or your action plans forever. So, how many of us are in this thing about making things happen? So we are in this. I won't say routine, but we are in this. I won't even call it a circle, but I would say that we've got this thing about pushing ourselves to do different things every week. So it's a Saturday, so we have plans to party. We've got plans to kind of do something with our children. We've planned to kind of probably catch up with some friend circle or play a sport or whatever. So I see so many people who are doing that over the years and stuff, and they have this thing about playing golf or tennis or whatever. So all those are great habits and stuff. And then there are certain people who kind of switch off and they're like trying to take it easy and enjoying and making the best out of it. So this is for those who are consciously switching off and cancelling plans and stuff because they want to catch up on little things or simple habits and stuff or small changes which can change your life forever. So what are these? So let me read it out to you. So each day we've got, without exception, we make decisions that change our present and affect our future forever. So we may have a habit of, following a certain personality, online or offline. We may be kind of obsessed with maybe a certain channel or a certain person. We may have a habit where we are in a pattern of kind of listening to the same kind of music, meeting with the same people and stuff. And when we do that, we feel stagnated or stuck, and we don't find newness happening in our life. And as a result of that, we are kind of disheartened or disappointed because there's nothing new happening and stuff. So the point is to take it easy, and the point is kind of accept the fact that you have to kind of not rush. And I think I've shared too much on slowing down and stuff, but the point is to kind of make the best of every experience you have. So further, what I would like to share is that you're kind of looking at important decisions which are going to happen in the coming week of work and stuff, which are specifically relevant and could change everything for your life. It could kind of change your course of action and your personal and professional life into a different direction. A lot of people are kind of contemplating and thinking about leaving jobs that are draining, relationships which are kind of breaking them down, and some of them are kind of stuck in those obsessive or stalking relationships and stuff where you met people many years back and they're still following you around and stuff and all that. आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते. You can just block them around and just not even entertain them and stuff. Or you're talking about friendships or leaving a city or a country which is becoming a little too much for you. Some people are even evaluating becoming parents, kind of thinking about giving up lifelong habits, and they're also kind of giving up on decisions which will affect every aspect of their life. So the point is this, that in 2012 I joined this practice of Buddhism, and I kind of started thinking about how things could change and life could improve. And there's this notion about people that, people who join Buddhism have some really bad experiences and stories. That's why they join the practice. Part of it is correct. And the point is, after I joined the Buddhism practice, my life also changed. And it's not like I didn't have a great life before that, but yes, of course, stuff has changed, habits have changed, relationships have changed, me as a person have changed and stuff. So a lot of changes also happen when you kind of join a practice like Buddhism or a prayer school or whatever, and it's to each one his own. And what happens is that we are so used to kind of being in metros, we are so used to being in the traffic, we are so used to the hustle and bustle, we are so used to kind of the same stuff in the same company and stuff, that we forget that there's something beyond what's known to us and stuff. And it's not even a comfort zone, it's actually the same company, it's actually the same conversations, it's actually the same discussions, it's actually the same environments, which are not really adding positivity to your life and stuff. So a weekend is kind of a great idea to sit down and kind of collect yourself and center yourself and think about what is it that you want to do in the coming week or the days and stuff like that. Okay, and rest is, you go with the flow. There's no hard and fast rule about how things happen and stuff. You don't even know what's going to happen the next minute, so being fixated about it is definitely a way of kind of being pretty stuck up and conservative, or getting frustrated is the word or whatever, or disappointed or whatever. So in a nutshell, a snapshot of your life. So within the crucial decisions category, we have to include that there are millions of people who are also kind of looking at smoking, eating meat, drinking. They're also reevaluating their own orientation. They're kind of ending marriages, they're leaving steady jobs, and they're completely changing their career, religion, or approach to life and stuff. So how does that happen? That will only happen when you kind of take it easy and you spend time evaluating what's working for you and what's not working for you. A good measuring rod would be to know that how involved are you in the company that you keep, or the friendships or relationships that you have, which are actually helping you or taking you forward in your life in a positive fashion, where most of the crucial goals or decisions that you have, are they really working in that direction or not. So if you're kind of going to blame someone and say, I've been in a bad marriage, I've been in a bad circle of friends, and I've been in a bad experience, and you still continue entertaining that, no one can be held accountable and no one can be blamed. If you know that certain people who are not good for you, and you're not comfortable with it, past is past, it's gone. And those who are giving you good experiences and stuff, it's always a good idea to look at those, and you could be the one giving good experiences as well. And also what makes sense is that at the end of the day, try and take a snapshot of the goals you've achieved and the dreams you've done, and how much of stuff have you accomplished, how successful have you been. Successful doesn't mean just in terms of money, it also means the quality of your life. It also means the quality of habits you have, it's the quality of experiences you have, it's a quality of relationships you have, it's a qualitative change in your life that you've had, it's a quality, perception or thinking that you've had in your life and stuff. So that is success. So success is not measured by money, or success is not measured by how much have you acquired or how much have you gained. Most people do that, and honestly speaking, in the world of online and offline media, everything is bought. So what you see is brought. So a lot of images are projected, lots of videos are shown to us, lots of books are showed, lots of TV shows are shown to us and stuff. So many of it is actually practice, and behind the scene people are sharing their stories and making monies out of it. So a child asked me a few days back, when I was kind of trying to tell him that you got to be off your phone. We met in a mall, and I was in one of my favorite retail shops, and I was having a chat with him, and he was requesting his grandmom for his phone. And I looked at him and I said, you know what, I mean, you're here to kind of enjoy with your grandparent, why is it that you have a phone, and what is the negative of a phone and stuff. So his question was that, what, if elders know that phones are not good for us, why are they even manufacturing phones? And if they are manufacturing phones, why are they even kind of making games which are kind of getting us addicted or hooked onto them. So that was that was quite a fresh and a very innocent and a good question. And I had to explain the things to him that you have to kind of be on the phone, because this is all a business and a money making model and stuff, and they want to get you hooked on and all that. So rest is jazz. We had a nice conversation of about half an hour. He told me about his parents and his family in Hong Kong and stuff. We got talking, and he was totally deviated, and he was not on the phone. and we got talking about learning, and we got talking about kind of playing sports and stuff. So that excited him, that interested him a lot and stuff, and I could see that in that half an hour of a discussion he didn't want his phone. And obviously when I had to leave him in the shop because his grandmom had left me with him, he kind of got a little hassled and stuff, and he was smart enough to say, I've got my phone, so probably you can call up my grandparent and stuff like that. So these kind of experiences make you think that, because you're so much on the phone and because you have so many softwares and apps and everything coming up, even children are getting addicted to it. And it's a great idea to kind of help them also understand that, the pros and cons of being on social media. And it's not that everybody is going to be a rock star being on social media. There's so many children who become better personalities because they're not on social media. They're spending their time in libraries, they're becoming sports people, they're becoming geniuses, they're solving world problems and stuff, they're prodigies and stuff. So it's really very important that you don't have so much of emphasis on using a phone or giving a phone or an iPad or a computer to a child because you want to kind of get them busy and stuff. And if they get addicted to it or hooked onto it, then you can't blame it, because you're the ones who are putting it in their head that they can have a phone and they can enjoy themselves and stuff. So that's that. So use the weekend to kind of think about it. It's not just your own personal and professional shortcomings and accomplishments you want to focus on. It's also the quality of relationships, which is with children, which is with the world, which is with the community, which is with the people around you and stuff, and in your own circle.